All right, guys, what's going on? To all my Aussies, Kiwis, if you're on this part of the world, if you live down here in the Southern Hemisphere, I say Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. Hopefully, you're spending your time with the people you love. It is 9:45 a.m. I'm going to stay on for about 30 to 45. I do have a whole day with my girlfriend's family, which is my family. We've been together forever. So we're going to her mother's house. There's going to be a bunch of young kids running around, and it'll be fun. A bunch of Italian food. And yesterday was Christmas Eve here, so Chrissy and I, we do our own thing. But, we got to talk about boxing. Just because it's the holidays and I'm rocking this hat, shout out to my mom, Rosie. My mom gave me this last year when I visited. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to wear my festive hat. Just because it's the holidays doesn't mean we take a day off. Let's go. So if you guys haven't seen, today I uploaded my breakdown, prediction, and analysis of Junto Nakatani versus Sebastian Hernandez. Logan, that is up on the channel. Yesterday I uploaded Naoya Inoue versus Picasso. That is up on the channel. If you guys haven't watched them, watch them. Let me know what you think. Also, pinned here in the comments section below, join our professional boxing Bettors Discord, not just boxing in there, MMA, NHL, NFL, all pro sports. We launched it in July. We're at about 200. We're close to 200. No, we're close to 350. Johnny says boxing insider VIPs. I say thank you for that. Just click the link to find out more. We also have a Patreon if you want to help me, support me. And the goal is 2026 doing this full time. We're close. And if you guys are my client, my coaching clients, I'll never stop coaching. But as you can tell, we really have a lot of fun doing this. I'm going to say what's up. Simon, what's up, Simon? Simon says, Merry Christmas, everyone. It's 11:40 a.m. on Christmas morning here. I've got 2 lasagnas in the oven. You're making me hungry. Potato salad is made, putting together the truffle, expecting family over. Hey, mate, we appreciate you tapping in, checking in on the boys. And I love it. Look at all the, we go straight to work. What's up, MMA Better? Do you think Allah Akhmedov wins this weekend? I'm going to pull those odds up because we got fights. When we cut the stream off yesterday, we had 4 fights to talk about. When I woke up this morning and I'm, doing my daily boxing news roundup, I'm like, holy shit, they added a bunch of fights. So we're going to go over that in a second. I'm just saying my what's ups now. Money Meech in the house. We got Skeezy. Skeezy's and Ozzy. Merry Christmas, lads. All right, let's get into this then. We're a couple minutes in. We'll see how long we want to stay on. Let's look at these new odds. And let's see if we like anything. It is dude, the holidays always put me in a lost state. This is Thursday morning, right? Yeah, it's Thursday morning, so we still have 48 hours to come to a decision with some of these fights. So I'm just going to go over them with you guys, and I'm not going to give you my pick yet on some of these fights that I'm just learning about. All right, let's get a little bit of a bigger view for the boys. Here we go. That's a little bit better for the boys. So Angela Pena versus Joe Santisima. Santisma. The odds are good. I'm not gonna, I have to watch tape on this. So I'll get back to that fight. We love these 50-50 fights on the channel. Gabriela Timor versus Marina Loreto. I haven't taped it, so I'll get back to you on the Angelo Pena fight. I'll get back to you on this Timor fight. But the odds I'm already liking. I got to really do a deep dive. This is Reto Satsumi versus Sanchez. Those odds are insane. Probably won't touch that unless a sneaky prop bet opens up, maybe a knockdown prop, or let's see what the method of victory is. We'll individually dive into these fights after I go through all the fights that we're looking at. Here's another 50, almost 50-50, not quite. Tega Imanaga versus Inoue Garcia. Just looking at those odds, that's a Johnny Says Boxing fight that we would break down. That's a JSB special right there. When we're looking at these odds, 152, 275. I got to get back to you on that. So let me do my due diligence on those fights. Now, Yabuki, this is a fight we've been talking about all week. If you're new to the channel, I say welcome. Guys, what we do on this channel is it's not just the big fights, as you can tell. We break down every single boxing fight in terms of if we could bet on it, we're going to talk about it. I've been talking about the Yabuki versus Alvarado fight since Monday. It's now Thursday. I'm still not 100% convinced on who I'm taking yet, but that's an asterisk. That's a fight that I feel could go either way at this moment. Now or never for both guys when you look at how old they are, when you look at their resumes. This next one. Now, Teraji versus Willibaldo. You know my take on this. I've heard I've been watching a few boxing content creators, some in our ethos, some who's in our Discord, and then a few in the UK that, smaller followings. They do a pretty good job. And a lot of people are already bypassing Willibaldo, and they're thinking that the move would be to make Taraji versus Bam. Look, I think Taraji is declining. I don't think that's shocking to say. What is Taraji, 32, 33 years old now? We've seen him get stopped in recent memory. We've seen Willibaldo on the channel. We featured both fights against Rene Calito. One was a draw, one was a points decision. I thought Willibaldo won both. I think these odds are solely based on Willibaldo's 6 losses, but when you dissect those 6 losses, 4 of them were majority decision losses, which could have that went against him. This guy could easily have a shiny, sparkling record. He's one of these fighters that is the B side, kind of loses close decisions. And Taraji, he's not a perfect record. He's not a perfect fighter by no means, stretch of the imagination. So this is another fight that I'm like 80-20 leaning towards Willibaldo. I'll let you guys know my 100% obviously decision and pick. I'm very close with picking Willie as my dog of the week, but I'll let you know. Um, this is a fight that I just uploaded on the channel. I feel like nobody's being shocked on who you think is going to win here. I think the money is going to be made on how sexy you want to get on your props, over and unders, round betting, etc. The knockdown mate, if you take Junto by knockout, which I think he's going to get the knockout. I've film studied this. I uploaded my prediction. Sebastian Logan Hernandez, his fans call him Logan. Atypical Mexican style fighter, front foot. He wants to be in the pocket. He uses his jab not to hurt you, not to score points. He uses his jab almost like a disguise to get in there. Doesn't have the best feet, doesn't have the best hand speed. He wants to fight at one specific range. Junto Nakatani, everything about him. If you don't know about him, sharp southpaw. He's an assassin. He likes to snipe from range. We've seen Sebastian's coming off a decision victory, and Nakatani's coming off that 6th-round stoppage victory against Nishida. So I think this will also be Nakatani's first fight at 122. I don't pay too much attention to the 4-pound weight gap from 18 to 22. If we have to reference a weight jump, we always reference the 140 to 147 weight jump being more significant. 18 to 22, I don't think so. The one thing that will be interesting, this will be, at least as of recent memory, Nakatani's first opponent that will be bigger than him, longer than him, taller than him. Sebastian will also be the younger guy. If there is a path to victory, it would be Sebastian's volume and output, trying to win rounds in the pocket. Good luck with that. The more he's going to punch, the more opportunities Junto will have to counter and catch him. So I think and we know why this card was made. We know why Turkey put this together. The potential Nakatani versus Inoue fight. And I use this as a narrative. If Nakatani comes out here and has an off performance and has an off night, I could definitely see Bam Rodriguez being given enough money to fight Inoue. If you listen to Turkey Al Sheik, some of you guys might be like, no, it's too soon. It's too soon. I don't think so. I mean, Inoue's already 32 years old, going on 33 years old. Bam Rodriguez is a freaking dog, dude. We just watched what he did in his last fight, what he always does. We know he's only fought at 15. We know he's never fought at 18 before. But I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility, if the money is right, seeing Bam go up 2 weight classes and fighting Inoue at 22 in a goddamn super fight, if Nakatani comes out flat. Now, I don't think Nakatani's going to come out flat. I expect a great performance from him. He does like to take his time. He doesn't have the biggest volume at times. He does favor a specific range. But when you put his speed, accuracy, precision, and power, and you put that up against a guy like Sebastian, who I think is just good. I don't think he's great. If anything, he might be B- level on where he likes to take the fight. I'm thinking Nakatani, probably what we saw in his last fight, 1 through 6, something along those lines. But where I was getting at is, if you take Nakatani at $142 and you take Look at that. Never mind. I'll get back to you. This was at a buck 20. Yes, a buck 15. I'm not messing with that. I was gonna think about parlaying. I mean, parlaying Inoue and Nakatani right now to win by stoppage. A buck 63, 63% return. I don't think I'm gonna play it that sort of rudimentary. I'm probably gonna get a little. I'm probably gonna do an Inoue knockdown prop bet on its own, and maybe I'll pair Junto with something else. But look, we're still kind of brainstorming. I'll get back to you on those specifics. I'm gonna reconnect with the chat real quick. Teraji is a confident pair. I don't think so. I don't think so. I think Taraji's on upset alert. Ho ho, Shona, I wish Merry Christmas, my friend. Wishing you and your family. Appreciate you, man. Thank you. Thank you. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. Breaking Bad, Nick's in the house. Sup, playa. Bam collecting a lot of old legend scalps. He's Merc Taraji too. Yeah. Yeah, I want to see Bam. Look, we'll see what happens. Junto knockout. What round does I think I don't think he's going to take his time. You know, with everything on the line, with his feature, he's on the same card. You know what I mean? This will be, I'm pretty sure, won't this be Hernandez's first 12 rounder? You know, the minute you start second guessing or questioning, can I go 12 against a big hitter like Junto? I think Junto's camp should be, you know, using that in their advantage and jumping on them. We'll see what happens. I think it's 1 through 6. That's what I'm gonna lean on. You have to put over under rounds to make good money. Yeah, exactly, Eddie. That's right. You have to go over and under to make good rounds. Somebody in the live stream yesterday though was I forget who it was. We did a 2-leg parlay yesterday, and it was an over. Let's see. Let's put something together. I think Picasso. You know, will this be the fight we see anyway? Slow down. I don't know. The intrigue. See the intrigue with the Bam fight or with the Inoue fight and the Junto fight. The intrigue is going to come into. It's all around the knockout narrative. When will it happen? Will it happen? It's not really like will they get upset. I don't see Picasso beating Inoue. I don't see Sebastian Logan beating Nakatani. I talked about this in my breakdown. I think Nakatani still has room to grow. I don't think Nakatani's a finished product, especially with where he likes the fight to take place. Some people would say that he only likes it at range. We've seen him land big uppercuts from the pocket before, so I'm not going to say that he doesn't like fighting in close range. I think a lot of that has to do with his opponents feeling the power at a certain range and then not taking risks. Why would he fight in the pocket if he doesn't have to fight in the pocket? So, also another thing about Nakatani's power, sometimes when you have a lot of mid to late round stoppages, we know about the Maloney knockout in the 11th, we know about his last fight, getting his opponent Nishida out of there in the 6th. These numbers on his resume would suggest the narrative of him waiting. A lot of that, though, you won't. The reason, one of the things I like the most about Nakatani's game is he doesn't force the issue. That's where Inoue, what we saw against MJ, I think Inoue learned from Cardenas. You know, Inoue has been known to force the issue and be a little impatient at times and get caught. We haven't seen Nakatani do that. So one of the things that I do like about Junto is he takes what he could get. You know, some fighters, you know, you're taught to take. You know, I come from a coach back in the day in Youngstown. You know, take what you could get, Johnny. Don't force the issue. I mean, you know, I was a super young dude. Shout out to Jack Lowe. Jack Lowe, first boxing coach. Jack Lowe is the guy who, you know, created Kelly Pavlik. And, you know, take what you could get. Use the jab. Don't be too fancy. Be solid with the fundamentals. Use your straight punches. Use your stick. High guard, defensively responsible. And then when you're in your range, when you're in the position that you like to fight, the pocket, whether it's pocket or mid-range or a distance, then you find your shots. And I think Junto does that really well. And I don't think it's fair to say that, like, sometimes when you have a guy who does that really well, his output won't be as high. And then if you're looking just at statistics, you'd read punches per round or punches thrown. You'd be like, you know, he doesn't throw a lot. So there's always two sides to every narrative. And if you do find a narrative on a specific fighter, whether he punches too much, take too many risks, you know, rushes his work, you need to look at the other end of that coin as well. So it's interesting. It's why we love this sport. It's why, dude, boxing's the hands down greatest freaking sport. I don't care what you guys say. Sebastian acted suspect in his interview, saying he doesn't know something about Nakatani, only recently something about him. being a body puncher. And that's Sebastian's going to say what Sebastian has to say. You know what I mean? I don't think it's going to come down to anything. We know the sport. It's not going to come down to anything that either one of these guys says. And I know, what our job as analysts and guys who break the fight down and guys who, bet our hard earned money to win money on what we see, we try to find an angle. And and Pet's right on track. You can already tell Sent from Pet is a guy who does his work. He does his film study. He's obviously watching interviews like I do. And you're trying to find an angle. You're trying to find a psychological angle. See, we watch the weigh-ins around here. We want to see the nonverbal communication. We want to see how they're carrying themselves. So that could be an angle. I don't think it's really going to matter, though. Who do you think has a harder fight, Inoue or Nakatani? I think Inoue has a harder fight. No shade to Logan. I think Inoue has a harder fight. I think the fight. I think why when you look at Nakatani versus Sebastian, the narrative around this fight is what? Nakatani's first fight at 122, right? It's sort of like the next step in his journey to get to Inoue. It's not like we're putting him in there with he's fighting a killer who's a big puncher who is going to challenge him in different ways. It's like, no, it's his first fight at 122, right? How does he carry? How does he go from 18? Which I think he'll actually look better. With Inoue, it's like, all right, he's fighting an undefeated Mexican on the front foot who's confident, who's gonna fight his fight, who's fought his entire career to get there. David Allen Picasso, he does have a draw on his record, but I don't think either guy will struggle. I don't expect either guy to struggle. I think I think this is a treat for us. A shout out to Turkey. Like, as the 2 years now have passed, I've been Turkey Al-Sheikh's I've been a harsh critic of him. I've been a harsh critic to the Saudis. You guys know that, and I think it's only fair. I've never been one to want to be part of an echo chamber. I've never been one to follow the lead in anything in life. I've always gone my own way, and you're gonna have to prove it to me, whatever we do. Show me, sort of thing. And say what you will, but guys, we got fucking Christmas weekend boxing with two of the biggest punchers like on the same freaking card, dude. And then we also have some other intriguing fights on the card stack. Look, I'm a freaking boxing nerd. Say what you will. Thank you, Turkey, bro. Like, we get to see Inoue. And if you've never seen Naoya Inoue box, man, you're in for a treat. If you've never seen Junto, and they fought, and their styles are different. Don't expect with Junto an atypical Japanese fighter, especially in this modern era. Don't expect a guy who's not going to move his head off the midline, who goes right to the middle of the ring and throw bombs like Jin Sasaki or Andy Hiroka. You're going to see a guy that has that in him, but he operates a bit differently. He equally as brave to punch with you, but it's how he operates and how he uses range and how he uses his distance, how he uses his tools. Not all long fighters use their length. Not all power punchers use their stick. So I like how he uses the jab. He uses his size. We've seen him be a body puncher when he's needed to be. I want this. You know what? I think he will take more risks. I think he'll take quicker risks in this fight, and we could pinpoint and bookmark this right now to see if this comes to fruition. But it's something that I always talk about with prospects. I talked about this with Abdullah Mason and why I felt like when he, earlier in his, a couple of fights ago when he got dropped twice, throwing that naked ass hook or naked ass uppercut, and we were breaking the tape down, getting ready for his world title fight. I said that's a good thing. I was like, you never want to be a guy going into the biggest fight of your career with questions about your chin. Can you take a shot? Right? We already know that he can, and we already know that he could get up and he could finish the fight. Abdullah Mason, I'm talking about. So with Nakatani, have we seen any evidence that he has to come back from the dead? Has he been dropped before? He's been brutally hurt before? Has he ever had to be the nail instead of the hammer? Now, that's if the answer to all that is no, that just shows how dominant he's been. The last thing, and if there are questions about that, the last thing you want is to go into a fight with Naoya anyway and have to find that out. So my point is, maybe the game plan would be more aggressive in this fight, put yourself in danger early. I don't know. We'll see. It's something that if I were in his camp, I'd be talking about. Be like, you know what? Let's just we'll see what happens. I don't know. It's just something that should be said. Last thing you ever want to do is have questions about durability or you know the physicality of the sport when you're in there with a guy like Inoue. You like to already know these things. Hear what you're saying about the smaller jump in weight, but I'm leaning on a 7-12 for both Junto and Anyway. I think Picasso good enough to last 6. Tega and Manga points to decision 237. I like it. Yeah, no, I'm still in my brainstorming phase, boys. So until you see that post that I put in our Discord, until you see in the Johnny's picks or I posted on Instagram or I shared on YouTube, I'm still brainstorming. So I'm hearing what you're saying, big dog. If Junto gets it done in anyways, goes over 5.5, we still good. So you got Junto on the money line and Inoue over 5.5. Nice. But if that Willow parlay hit, goddamn, all right. So what? I'm doing it. I'm doing it. I'm putting Willie on a parlay. Now I'm if I take that route, maybe we'll see. I gotta watch more tape. I gotta see what some of the boys are saying. I think did Breaking Bad upload his let me pull it up. And this is the benefit of being boys with some great content creators is that they won't copy strike you. So boys, if you're content creators out there, you ever want to like lean on my content and do what I'm about to do, you have to go. I would never copy strike anybody here. Just so you know that. It's something we never really speak about. I'm just seeing if Nick uploaded his Willabaldo tape. What did Nick upload? Guys, if you're not following Nick Breaking Bad Boxing, I say you do it. We got to get him to 1,000 subs, boy. He's at 528. He'll be at 10,000 subs soon. This dude's a beast. Maxie Hughes. Video. Maybe he hasn't. I'm just seeing Maxie Hughes, 13 days, 1 month. He hasn't yet. Let's see if has Axel uploaded his. See, I don't watch. I'll because I haven't uploaded my Willabaldo tape. I won't watch anybody else's tape until I upload, and then I'll see what they're saying. Because I don't ever want to be sort of like I don't want to have anyone else's opinion sway my opinion. Dude, I have so many channels I don't even freaking watch. Who are these people? I gotta delete like 90% of these people. Did Joe upload anything? Shout out to Joe Stunner. He's the G. What's he saying? Nakatani, Picasso. Nope, I've already uploaded those. Pauly TV, DJ. Has Axel. Axel needs to be at about 10,000 subs too. All right, here we go. Hope I don't know Axel. Hopefully he doesn't copyright me. But we'll see. I just want to see what Axel's saying. This is about Will Baldo.
Winner of this fight, but if I knowing when to turn things up, but he doesn't really, like I say, make much of a defensive adjustment in the way of to circle off. I think it's going to win this fight. I think that Kenshiro Teraji is going to be able to win via unanimous decision. Again, I'm going to go with the more boring option there, but I think it is just going to go that way. I don't think he's going to be able to stop Garcia unless we can see a revitalized new version of Kenshiro Teraji, where maybe later on.
I don't know, man. Here's what I don't like with Taraji. Here's what I don't like with Taraji. A, He's 33 years old. If you've watched Teraji's style, if you watch him fight, his style does not age well. He gets hit a lot. 5'5", 33 years old. If you watch him in Media Week this week, he's talking about fighting. He wants the Bam Rodriguez fight. He wants to kind of like. Dude, he's coming off of a loss against Sandoval in which he was a big favorite. He gets stopped against. Didn't Yabuki stop him? Yep. I don't know, man. I think Taraji's on his way out. What about the most punches on Will Baller to be safe and not pick a winner? I mean, if you have that, I don't have a lot of experience betting props like that. My props sort of sports are NFL and NBA. I've never really even experimented with most punches thrown. All right, look at Willibaldo's record. So he has 6 losses, never been stopped. He's a few years older than Taraji. This fight is in Saudi, not Japan. He fights Renee twice. I thought he beat Renee both times. The first time was a draw. Then he got his get back. He gets dropped. He gets dropped against Paul Butler early. Let me pull this up. I don't like how I don't like the PC version of BoxRec. I like the mobile version of BoxRec only because right on their interface you could see the decision. They just on the laptop PC version you just see the wins or losses. So Paul Butler, he loses a split decision, right? 94-96, 92-97, 95-94. That was a split decision of Paul Butler. Santiago, he loses a majority decision in 2020. Marzan and Beeman, he loses 2 majority decisions. A majority decision has a draw, another majority decision. I mean, if Willibaldo's record could easily be 28-2, 27-2. Even the draws could have gone his way. He could be 29-2 with the 2 decision. He has a UD loss in his 5th pro fight. In his 3rd pro fight, he lost a UD, and then his 5th pro fight, he lost a UD. Let's just without watching this tape. And then he has 2 close split decision draws, and then he has 3 majority decision losses and 2 split decision. So this guy, realistically, if you want to do the other way, he could be 29-1. And then if you look at Teraji has 2 to 3 close split decision wins that could have gone the other way. I don't like where Taraji's trending. He's coming off of a loss. Willibaldo is also a world champion. I like Willibaldo's volume. He gets hit a lot too, but I don't see Willibaldo getting stopped. And if Teraji doesn't stop Willibaldo, I think Willibaldo's output could nick rounds. I think he's a live dog. I think I'm talking myself into this. I think he's a live dog. Kenshiro is the most technical advanced boxer Garcia has ever faced. I think he's basic, though. I think Taraji's basic. Dude, what's up, player? America's trying to jam my quit Teraji. I think it will see the final bell. Willibaldo's never been stopped before. I think maybe that's the move. Maybe that's the move. Will the fight go the distance? Let's see. Also, if you're thinking about like where fighters are trending, this guy at 36, Mexican fighter, is fighting now to change his life. He is a world champion, but he's not making that world champion money. Taraji is the one on his way out, I feel. I think Taraji, you'd have to ask questions to see, like, what are his ambitions? Um, I don't know, man. I definitely don't see Willabaldo getting stopped here. I thought Taraji lost to Canizales. We saw him lose his last fight. We've seen him get stopped before. I think if we're playing options of like, what are we seeing in these fighters stylistically? Where are they trending? What have they done for me lately? I think Willabaldo Garcia is super, super live here. Let's see, will the fight go? Will the fight go the distance? I think it goes the distance. $1.50. So you gain if you like Taraji on the money line, you gain 24 cents on that. I mean, 50% return on the distance could be the play if you guys. Maybe you take this fight to go the distance and Junto by knockout, you're in plus money. It's a good way to get creative. I'm going to do something like that. You guys will know soon enough. Julius leading Kenshiro by knockout. Playboy. 12 rounder. I could see a late stoppage too. You see Taraji clinching a lot. I don't know, man. For him to be such a big favorite, there's not a lot in Taraji's game as of. I'm not a big believer. Like he's, I mean, he's alright. He alright. This is where we're gonna either make our money or lose our money with this fight. So Julius is gonna make his money. Taraji by knockout at plus 205. Even the decision's plus money. Or Willie by decision plus 500. That could be the prop of the week. Willie by. You might get your prop of the week and your dog of the week on the same fight. If Kenshiro can drop young Sandoval, then Kenshiro can punish middle 30s journeyman. You're going to call a world champion a journeyman? I don't know, man. A journeyman is below a gatekeeper, I think. You have like a clubber, you have a journeyman, you have a gatekeeper, and then you have a world champion. He's a world champion, dude. How could you call him a journeyman? I'm just speaking from the level of our sport. Guys, wherever you're tuning into the world, happy holidays. It's Christmas here in Sydney. Like this video, subscribe, join our Discord. It's a couple bucks a month. It's your Christmas present to me and the boys. Come join our Discord. Yeah, but 6 losses, Julius. You could dissect all 6. He could easily be 29-1. Look, never been stopped. We saw him get dropped a couple fights ago against Paul Butler. Lost a split decision there. Lost two. The only unanimous decisions he's lost was in his 3rd pro fight and his 5th pro fight. Right? UD. The other 3 losses were majority decision in which he was given the fight by one of the judges. I thought he beat Canizales, who is you guys rate really highly. He world champion. He could those 6 losses, I think, is why the odds are like they are, because people look at that resume. Not everybody are boxing heads like we are. We've watched Willabaldo in his last 2 fights on the channel against Rene Calito. He has 2 draws that I feel he won both of those fights. This kid could easily be 30-1. And then people be like, damn, dude, if he was 30-1, this is a tough Mexican. He's a world champion. He fights on the front foot. He's durable. He's going to outpunch Taraji. Like, that's what we would be saying, right? So I think at plus 330 on the money line, Willabaldo Garcia, I like it. I like it. I don't like, what's the narrative on Taraji? Like, if you're selling me on both sides, Taraji coming off a loss. Taraji been stopped before. Taraji's style doesn't age well. Taraji's 33 going on 34 years old. So he'll be 34. Willie's only 36. So all of these things, man, I think it's trending in the Mexican's favor. Mexicano, I think it's trending in his favor. And I wouldn't feel bad taking him as the dog or on points. And this fight is in Riyadh. It's not in Japan. Thank you, V. My mom got me the hat. Are the lights still on? Yeah, the lights are still flashing. Little Rosie. I think they're flashing. Yeah, they're flashing. So, guys, we're about 35 minutes in. It's my Christmas morning. It's a gift to share with you boys. Um, I'll leave it. Anybody want to come on the chat? I'm gonna put the link in the Discord right now for anybody who's in our Discord. One of the benefits, I mean, there's multiple benefits. I don't have to sell you on that. In my opinion, one of the coolest benefits is being able to jump on the live stream and get some FaceTime and spread your word. Julius, let me know if you could do it. I'm gonna put there we go. Anyone want to jump in live? It's open. All right, boys. If you're in the Discord, I put the link up. Let me know if you want to jump in. I'm gonna leave it on for. We'll stay on for about 10 more minutes. So if Julius wants to, send from Pet, Adu, Alex, Mike from Melbourne, Nick, Breaking Bad. Anybody wants to jump on, feel free to do it. I'm gonna continue on our mission to look for a prop. I want to look at the Nakatani prop real quick. And then let's see what this Nakatani prop with Romero looks like. And then we're going to probably wrap it up. Make sure you watch my break. I uploaded Junto's breakdown. I uploaded Naoya anyways breakdown. Yeah, guys, these odds right here. How are we supposed to play this fight, right? Naoya on the money line, no thanks. Naoya by knockout, no thanks. Picasso, everything I said about Willabaldo, you could say about Picasso. Never been stopped. He has a draw. Undefeated. He's undefeated. Willabaldo's not. Mexican fighter, front forward guy. A lot of volume. Lifelong boxer. Started boxing as a kid, 6 years old, 7 years old. He knows the game. High fight IQ. He's gonna have a game plan. We'll see how brave he's gonna be. Could he go the 12 with Inoue? Inoue on points plus 550. I mean, these are things that these are legit questions. Or look at that. Naoya Inoue by knockout, exact method, or by TKO. Wow. They're getting tempting here now, boys. That's something to think about. This one right here. Look at those. That's something to think about. I'm checking for a knockdown prop. I never play knockdown props. I played it AJ versus Paul and we hit 2+. So that was a good feeling. And then I played the knockdown prop in Inoue versus Cardenas and won, but then played the knockdown prop Inoue versus MJ and nobody got knocked down. So it's just the game that we play. I think Picasso is going to be much braver though than MJ. I don't think Picasso is going to use the entire ring like MJ did. I think Picasso is going to put himself in position to. I think it's going to be a fun fight. I think it's going to be a fun fight. Look at that, 2+ knockdowns, $1.70. That's not exciting enough. Do you think Ali Akhmedov is going to win? I got to do tape on him, Manny. I woke up this morning to 7 new fights. That was one of them. So I'll get back to you tomorrow. I'll be going live tomorrow as well. Stay tuned. Adu says Inoue 1 through 6 or 7 through 12. Can't see it. I don't see it going the distance. And like I said, I think that Picasso is going to be. I think Picasso is going to fight the fight that we want him to fight. If you're an Inoue knockout guy on this fight, this is all I'm going to say. I think Picasso is going to fight the fight that you want him to fight. Johnny, Merry Christmas, bro. Over 5.5. Teraji, distance, Nakatani. Guys, I'm going to wrap it up. I got to go. Happy holidays. I'll see you tomorrow. Enjoy the time with your family and loved ones, wherever you're in the world, whatever you celebrate. Thank you for being here with me.